thing.
For years, Bengaluru has been regarded as one of the centers of fashion in the country. But it is only tomorrow when the city will be finally put on the global fashion circuit. Hello and welcome to our special Namma Bengaluru Gets Hot. I'm Srishti. Tomorrow is a big day. Wondering why? Well, Bengaluru is all set to sizzle down the ramp and join the league of Milan, New York and Mumbai. Wondering what are we talking about? Well then, take a look.
The next 4 days is going to see one of Bengaluru's biggest events. Yes, Namma Bengaluru finally has its very own and much awaited Fashion Week, which kickstarts tomorrow.
It's been really great, wonderful experience, and this platform is very good enough. You know, Bangalore is a city of fashion, and definitely it's the first time that Bangalore is hosting, and Bangalore rocks.
The Fashion Week will kickstart with an opening ceremony and move on to the opening designers Abhi and Rahul, whose collection is New York inspired. Day 1 will also see Bengaluru's very own Namrata Ji and the likes of first-timers Bhumika and Hiral from Mumbai showcasing their collections.
Inspiration comes from a tribe in Africa called Zulu. It's one of the very remote areas, and their traditional handicraft that they use over there, which is not really known by a lot of people, is the beaded geometrical patterned embroidery over there, which is so beautiful and yet not exposed to a lot of people throughout the world. So we have taken that as our inspiration.
The Fashion Week will showcase collections of erstwhile designers like Jatin Kochar, Manoviraj Khosla and Sanchita Ajampur. Also featuring at the event will be showstoppers actress Koina Mitra, cricketer Robin Uthappa, Sandalwood's very own Sanjana, among others. While showstoppers are sure to get the attention, some designers are also experimenting at the event, like designer Sanjay Choraria, who has tried to do something a little different with the maternity line.
These garments are designed in such a way that the ladies can wear during pregnancy and post-delivery also. So as I said, these are not the typical so-called maternity wear which are big in size sacks. They would actually make the ladies look pretty slim, and the only thing which has to be visible would be the belly, so probably that area would be visible, but otherwise, you know, it's a very stylish garment which they can wear post-delivery comfortably.
We sure do hope that this much-awaited event is a grand success and lives up to the city's expectations. So, 3 cheers to a fashionable week ahead. Payal, NEWS9, Bengaluru.
Today we take a closer look at the first ever Bangalore Fashion Week, which begins on Thursday. We are now joined in the studio by noted designer Manoviraj Khosla. Hello Manoviraj, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you. And also designer duo Hiral and Bhumika. Hello the two of you, welcome to the show.
Hi,
Manoviraj, I would like to start off with you. Now, Bengaluru is having its first ever Fashion Week, and you are based in Bengaluru. You have your studio here. What was your initial response when you got to know about it?
Well, you know, I mean, it's sort of become a little bit of a fad, you know, to have fashion weeks with every city. You know. So whether it's a good thing or not, I don't know. But for Bangalore to have one, you know, and you know, I had to be associated with it because I live here. This is my town.
Right.
And so it's quite exciting to have it. we'll have to see and see how it all spans out and how it all works out. But I think, I mean, they've made quite an effort. So let's see. It should be good.
So you mean to say you're a part of it only because it is for Bengaluru?
Yeah, well, I did it because it's Bangalore, and I did the Calcutta Fashion Week earlier this year as well, and I do the Delhi one on a regular basis, the Wills one. I used to show in Bombay earlier when there was only one Lakme thing. But for Bangalore to have one is quite fun, and it's the only one really in the south. So yeah, it should be nice. Yeah.
Right. And the two of you are for the first time showcasing your collection, and it is in Bengaluru. Why did you choose this particular platform?
We were actually already based in Bombay. We have a huge clientele over there.
Right.
So we thought that we wanted to expand. So to Delhi, to Calcutta, to Pune, to Bangalore, and plus Bhumika is a Niftian from Bangalore. So she had that little soft corner for Bangalore.
Yes, of course. And I always wanted to come back to it. So yes, it's a good thing.
Right. But why did it take so long for fashion to come down to Bangalore? Now, a lot of us say Bangalore is the fashion capital of India. But so long,
You said Bangalore is the fashion capital of India.
A lot of people believe that. They say that Bengalurians themselves
only
believe
Bangaloreans, no, only people from Bangalore. So if the people from Bangalore went to Delhi and Bombay, they realized that Bangalore is not the capital of fashion by any standards, at all. I mean, you can't sort of compare Bangalore as far as, being a capital as compared to Delhi or even Bombay or something. It's, that's just a lot more fashion that happens there. There's a lot more designers over there. There's a lot more stores over there. There's a lot more business over there. It's just, I mean, Delhi is way ahead of Bangalore. So we're nowhere near the capital of fashion. We have a lot of street fashion. People are fashion conscious, especially the youngsters, the college kids, all of them are very with it. So in that sense, yes, there is a great sense of fashion. But as far as high fashion is concerned, it's still a bit limited.
Both of your comments.
I agree to him. Delhi and Mumbai are the capital for India for fashion.
I guess, yeah, I mean, like you end up finding a lot more there, but then now, considering the fashion week has started, we ought to see a lot more.
People will show more interest in it, and it is obviously going to come up. Since this is just the first year, let's see 5 years down the line, maybe Bangalore is the fashion capital.
I would love it. I wish Bangalore was the fashion capital. I really wish, because but Bangalore has
business for you.
but it doesn't happen. But the biggest problem for that, and the reason it can never become a fashion capital, is because we don't have a nightlife.
All right. So you
I mean, at the end, I mean, we close at 11 o'clock at night or 11:30, whatever, and then we're the only city that does that. Bombay and Delhi are open till sort of the wee hours of the morning.
Right.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, that's where fashion thrives. When there are parties, when there are nightclubs, when there's bars, where people go. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't buy clothes to come and sit at home and watch television.
That's right.
So, I mean, till that whole thing changes, it's very difficult, because at the end of the day, why would people keep buying clothes? For what reason?
Right.
You go to a party, I mean, you're there for an hour maximum, I mean, there are not that many parties, But so if it had a social life like Delhi or Bombay had, which is sort of doesn't have this time restriction, which actually no other city has, except for us. But, if that sort of mentality changed, I think it would do wonders for the fashion industry.
All right. I hope the authorities are indeed watching and they actually do something about it for us to become the fashion capital. But do you think this particular fashion week is going to make some difference, some impact in the fashion circuit in Bengaluru?
Well, I mean, people are aware of it. Everybody knows about it.
Right.
So, people are they're a little sort of wondering what the hell is actually going on, and what is this fashion week about, and but I mean, everybody's there. We'll have to just see actually how many people actually come for it, and I think there's going to be a fair amount of enthusiasm. So I think that should be good,
There is enough enthusiasm that is already created.
Right.
So we have people flying in from Mumbai, especially to come and see our show. We have people from Delhi. We've basically invited all our clients, and even from Bangalore, we have already having people invited. So hopefully that should do the trick.
Right. Like you mentioned, now there's a lot of enthusiasm, there's a lot of hype about this particular fashion week. But for our viewers, could you just explain to them what exactly is, first of all, a fashion week? Because all we see is models walking down the ramp. So could you give us an inside detail as to what is a fashion week exactly?
Yeah, like fashion week is more of an awareness, what is in trends, what people can wear, party circuit, obviously a buyer's, shopper's paradise to come and pick up all the labels of all the established and upcoming designers. And
well, to put it in a nutshell, actually a fashion week is a trade event.
All right.
That's all it's actually supposed to be, a trade event. That is the word fashion week. That's actually what Milan or Paris or New York or London or Delhi or Bombay is about. It's a trade event. Now, around that trade event, obviously you have shows like you have in any other trade. They would have stalls to show their clothes, you know, their whatever they're trying to sell over there. In a fashion week, you do that with clothes. So at the end of the day, it is a trade event. And you have buyers and you have the press. Of course, being fashion, you have to have glamour to it. So you have shows, and which is actually the way of showing your clothes to the press and to the buyers. That's where they place their orders. So it's actually a whole trade event. Of course, now we're doing a Calcutta Fashion Week and a Bangalore Fashion Week, and we'll have some other fashion weeks and all that, which are not basically trade events. They are more like something for the city.
Right.
You know, it's bringing fashion to the city. Whichever local sort of buyers are there, they will sort of come and do whatever business if they choose to do. But at the end of the day, it's not such a trade event. The official sort of fashion weeks which every country hosts, that is basically a trade event.
Also, I think for a layman, it's just we go ahead and see what's going to be in the season next year, probably a year before. So you have this line where, you know, you can follow it up, then you know exactly what trends are coming in, and you can, when you're going out shopping, probably you can pick up something that's similar to that.
Right.
So, you know, it's also for that reason
More
that,
like
you know,
fashion forecast and knowing what you wear at the right season and what you can wear next if you're bored of something.
Right. But it's not just about wearing. Even there are lots of controversies involved with the fashion week itself.
There are never controversies involved. It's because you people choose to
Wardrobe.
make a controversy. It's because the press chooses to make a controversy out of something because it
Not really,
gets
we
them
just
viewership.
report it.
What is the controversy?
If there's a wardrobe malfunction.
What's a wardrobe malfunction? It happens around the world. Nobody makes a hue and cry about it.
Alright.
It happens. It's a mistake. It's like, you know, if someone's driving and they have an accident, you know, I mean, you can't go and make a hue and cry and say, look at that accident, let's cover it like 24/7, you know, and just keep showing this accident on the road. I mean, that's what it is. It's an accident. It happened by mistake, you know. So nobody intentionally did it.
Accessory,
Yeah,
a designer,
but
and the heel
it's
break.
good for the press because they get great
Exactly.
viewership
Isn't
out
it
of
good
it,
for
and so you do it.
for the designers themselves?
It's embarrassing because I mean, it just shows that you know, you've done something wrong. I mean,
No,
it's a
it's
mistake.
really wrong.
It's like if you had an accident, would you like it be repeatedly shown on television and show what a bad driver or something you are? No, it's just an accident. You know?
It's just by accident.
But what about the claims or the things that are said to the designer itself that it can be a publicity stunt? It was done just
But
on
no,
purpose.
who did that?
Yes.
The press did that. You see, again, because
Okay.
they need to say, okay, now how can we sort of make this whole thing larger than life, you know, and how can we just sort of blow this out of proportion so that everybody really listens to it and everybody gets really excited about it, and so it becomes a talking point, blah, blah, blah. So you think of a question like,
Well,
did you do this as a publicity stunt?
no designer would want it to
I
go
mean, you
negative.
know,
There are a lot of
them.
other
It's a
ways of
negative thing. It's
publicity
not-
to gain
yeah.
publicity than
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
All right, I guess the war between the press and the designers or all the actors will continue and the debate will go on for time. But here we are today to discuss the Fashion Week, so we'll do that. But after this very short break. Welcome back. You're watching Namma Bengaluru Turns Hot. In the News9 studios, we have with us 3 designers who are giving their inputs about the Bangalore Fashion Week. So, obviously there are going to be comparisons of this Fashion Week to the Delhi, to the Mumbai Fashion Week as well. Do you think we can match up?
No, I don't think Bangalore's even trying to match up to Delhi or Bombay because I mean those are established fashion weeks. They happen twice a year and they've been happening for many years. So you know there's a level of sort of professionalism and everything. You know, I mean those are established big fashion weeks which have sort of 100 people taking part in it. You know, so that's a big thing. And like I said, you know earlier, that's more of a trade event and it's a big sort of different thing. Here it's more, you know, a few designers coming from different parts of the country and showing in Bangalore and bringing fashion to Bangalore, which is a good thing, you know, at the end of the day. You know, people in Bangalore need to see it.
And I guess it's we shouldn't really compare it to the Bangalore Fashion Week to the Bombay and Delhi because they have been doing it since a long while. And I guess the fact that they are starting this off is a huge thing in itself. And I guess we should give credit to Dream Merchants for that. Yes.
All right.
So.
But obviously, you all say that it's not going to be as big as Delhi and Mumbai. But do you think over a period of time, we will make it that big? And do you think where are we lacking behind? Because
it's like I said, you know, when people do a Delhi Fashion Week, they're doing it for business. You see, they're doing it for a different reason. You're coming over here to do a show for the city.
all right.
So there's a complete difference in the whole thing. You know, that is a business event. So let's not compare the two. Bangalore, for Bangalore, a fashion week is nice. You know, we have like designers coming. Next year we may have 10 more people or 20 more people coming in. So it all depends on how everybody feels about the whole fashion thing in Bangalore. But like I said,
Hopefully there should be a
the
lot
night
of
line, the
buyers
night
and
timeline
social
has
life.
to change.
Yes.
Right. Hopefully that happens soon. Now, joining us on the phone line is Mr. Sajid Mahajan from Dream Merchants himself. So, Mr. Sajid Mahajan, first of all, tell us, how did the idea for coming up for a fashion week in Bengaluru come about? Why the idea of fashion week in Bengaluru?
Yeah, fine. That's actually, we have been discussing a year back about it, like when we had, my friend, one of my other colleagues, he's watched these fashion weeks for a couple of years back in Delhi and Mumbai.
All right.
So we gave an idea, but why it can't happen in Bangalore? So we said, yeah, it can happen, but just drop the idea there itself. Then 3 months back again. So we said, oh, we discussed about the Bangalore Fashion Week the other day, but we dropped it there. Why we not doing anything about it? And it picked up. And one Friday, 6 months back, it picked up so well, we decided we are going for it. Right. So we did a little bit of surveys, a lot of research around and stuff like that, and we were on for it, yeah. Right, and when Kolkata happened, then we said, now we're not going anywhere. It is happening. Bangalore Fashion Week is there, So when Kolkata did it, then it just pushed us, We said, when Kolkata can do it, who are you waiting for, yeah?
Right. But why such a long wait for Bengaluru? For the first time it's coming down south, but why such a long wait?
Yeah, it's because we decided to have it late. Nobody even thought of it. So, but it's never too late, I should say, Ultimately, we brought it here and we said, yeah, we can do it. We did it. It's a potential for Bangalore. It's a great city. It came as a best IT city in no time, in 4 or 5 years. It has rapidly, ramp fares has gone so well, and in fashion, because as you know that the fashion depends on your pocket.
All right.
The middle class has grown so well in Bangalore. There is a lot of disposable income within the pockets of people in Bangalore. They are thinking about the fashion. They are serious about fashion. They know what fashion it is, and they buy fashion. And we thought of, why can't we have a Bangalore Fashion Week? And people can go to Delhi, Mumbai, buy clothes in these fashion weeks, pick up designer clothes from the store itself. So if they have their own Bangalore Fashion Week here, and
what is the kind of response you're expecting now from this particular fashion week?
We are very hopeful. We have got tremendous response all over, and people are like appreciating our efforts. They said, yeah, it was required, done a good job and all that. But yeah, we are very hopeful. We are about the practical thing as well. And since it's the first year, not many expectations, although expectations are there always. But we'll be practical as well. But and I'm sure that over the period of time it will grow. And what's our objective? That it will be the IT, it will be the fashion capital of India. That's our major objective. And that cannot happen in the first year itself. And I'm sure down the line, 2, 3, 4 years, it will not take as long to be there.
Right. And what about the timing, Mr. Mahajan? It's placed in a time where there's recession happening. So do you think the timing is right?
There's always a bad time is always followed by a good time. I think recession was a bad time and it's followed by a good time. That is Bangalore Fashion Week.
All right, I'm sure a lot of Bengalurians are looking forward to this particular fashion week. Mr. Manovaraj again, he himself mentioning that he would like to make Bangalore the fashion capital, and he's very optimistic about the whole week.
We all love it, but like I said, we have to stop partying at 11 o'clock at night. I don't think it's going to happen.
All right, now talking something else. I mean, talking about your collections in this particular fashion week. What do we have to look forward to where your collections are concerned in this?
I'm showing both menswear and women's wear. More menswear, some women's wear well. Evening sort of fun party stuff, very light, nothing very heavy. Just stuff that you can enjoy and which you would love to wear and which is sort of full of attitude and very sexy.
All right, and what about the two of you?
Ours is only women's wear, and we are stressing more on evening wear again for women to encourage them more to party in Bangalore.
Yes, that would be right.
All right, it's all just boiling down to one thing, just partying in Bangalore.
Well, that's what fashion is about.
Right.
I mean, they are interconnected. If there was no partying, there would be no fashion. Like I said, you don't dress up to sit at home.
Right.
So, and if everybody goes out, everybody wants to dress up and everybody wants to look nice, and that's a fact. Everybody wants to look good.
Right. So it's just about partying, and
It's
just
about looking
dressing
good.
up for parties in itself.
Well,
Isn't
it's
it
about
about
looking
dressing
good in
up
front of
for
the
going to
world.
office
It's about looking
and
good
college
in
as
front of
well?
everybody.
There is also
clothes
dressing
down.
up, office wear, day wear, evening wear.
But
Everything flows
everything
down
should
along
be
the way,
fun.
you know?
The
Right.
point comes to that. Why would you dress up? It's all about having fun, being comfortable in what you're wearing, and going out. And it shouldn't be drab. and-
Basically,
yeah.
it's very sentimental. Feeling nice. If you feel
Yeah,
you,
need
you
to feel good
feel
about
more
yourself,
confident,
you
and you
know,
want
and
to go
everybody
out
does.
and
Alright.
speak to everyone, open up. That's
And you're
basically
often-
feeling
yes.
nice.
Yes,
you
I
need
agree
to
with
dress
her.
up to get that confidence.
All right, and what are the kind of preparations that went in for this, for your collection?
Oh, we prepared everything like in a very short span of time. We were
Alright.
already so busy with the previous collections, and we had like minimum 20 days to prepare collection,
Yes.
and hopefully you've done a good job. Hope.
All right. Why just 20 days? I mean, it's just everything happened in such a hush.
Yeah,
Yes,
because
exactly.
actually Mr. Feroz, who's been really of good help to us, he intimated us on participating in the Bangalore Fashion Week, and yes, it was a very quick decision for us to take, which is also a good thing. And so now we are going to participate in it. So we're like, okay, now let's start preparing.
yeah.
So we had just 20 days to do it, and everyone's
But
going to
yeah,
like.
we are not complaining, so it's okay.
Considering a good platform for
Yeah,
young
like,
designers
of course,
like you're
yeah,
all
of
just
course.
starting off.
Yeah, and Dream Merchants have been very cooperative. His team, Mr. Feroz and his team have really helped us in really short span of time, put everything up for us, which is nice.
All right, on that note, we'll take a short break. We'll find out what preparations Mr. Mano Viraj Khosla has done, but after this very short break. Welcome back. You're watching Namma Bengaluru Turns Hot. So Mano Viraj, what are the preparations that you've done for this fashion week?
Like I said, we've done lots of menswear, we've done some women's wear, so we made some really nice, a lot of evening wear like them, as far as the women's wear is concerned. The menswear is also evening wear, but it's also, there's a little bit of casualness attached to it. Okay. We have brought in a little bit of sort of slightly formal, but nothing very formal in this collection as far as the menswear is concerned. Okay. The women's wear is sort of very party, very sexy, and the menswear is easy, good, fun stuff, you know, good summer stuff, good for the season, lots of denim, lots of linen, few silks. Right. So all in all, a fun collection.
And how long did you take to actually design and
well,
get on with your collection?
You know, I mean, it's just it's a process which is going on all the time. You know, you're either designing for this show or that show, or something or the other. Right. So there was just work going on, but this one was, yeah, it was a bit
just another show?
sort of rushed in the end. Yes, right. Like them, like everybody. It's always the same. Right. It's always the same. I could know there's a show 6 months from now, but the week before is the worst. You know why?
We don't know. A friend of mine was just saying, you prepare for like 3 months, 6 months. It always comes down to the last minute.
Right, the last minute fittings are indeed, and I think that's the one that adds to the whole thrill of a fashion show. All right, and how would you define style of fashion?
I guess being a designer myself, I would go with personal. I mean, like, first thing is you have to feel comfortable in what you're wearing. Right. Do not follow fashion just, you know, straight on. You have to know what fits you right, what suits you, and go ahead. I don't believe in you have to follow fashion like to the T. You can be comfortable even in your, you know, even in your jeans, but at the same time, I mean, like, just as you grow and you get familiar with what's in the season and stuff, you can just, you know, kind of carry on with that, see what fits you, see what suits you, and move on. Don't like just go blank on. Yeah.
Basic bottom line is be comfortable
in what you wear.
Even a classic pair of blue jeans and a white shirt, team it up with nice accessories, with a good fitted, basically. It should fit well. That's the main thing. The fit is the main thing.
All
so
right.
That's fashion.
And what's fashion for you then?
Oh, it's all about attitude and style and everything that goes with that. But like they said, the most important thing is that you should be able to carry off what you're wearing. And that's the most important thing. There are a lot of people who want to wear a lot of clothes which actually don't suit them, be it men or women or whatever. Right. So as long as you're carrying it off and you can sort of, you have the right attitude, and you know, it's not very difficult to carry off clothes, it's just a sort of mental makeup, you know, and everybody wants to look good, so I think people should sort of experiment a little more.
Is it just about following a particular season, the spring summer collection?
The hardcore fashionistas, yes, of course, for them it is following a particular season. You know, the real hardcore ones will never even go and buy something at a sale because it's out.
Right.
You know, but having said that, no, I mean, fashion is about a season. A lot of, I mean, the way you should do it is sort of buy 2 or 3 good things every season, you know, which you really use. And they may not be trendy the next season, but that really doesn't matter because you've sort of worn them enough in any case. You know,
I guess, yeah.
Clothes, you know, Indian mentality is to just keep your clothes forever.
Yeah,
you know, nobody
You
in
know,
India
that thing
throws
has
their
still
clothes
not,
away.
yeah.
You
The
know,
thing,
we don't throw our clothes
fashion
away.
still,
If you
yeah.
just threw your clothes
Fashion
away
and
and
true.
went and bought something like the whole world does, we'd be fine. You know, you'd be wearing trendy stuff, throw it away, buy something new.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to like go overboard, but you can do it within your own budgets.
Right.
But that's the way to be sort of continuously fashionable, not wear something which you bought like 8 years ago, you know.
Exactly. And
Actually,
there's
you know,
always
yeah.
a dress that fits everyone's budget. So it's better to, you know, keep changing. Anyways, people get tired of seeing their own stuff again and again. So we should encourage everyone to get rid of the old junkyard and team up with new stuff inside to make them feel nice and something fresh. Every time you pick up, every time you get a haircut, every time you get a new purse, you feel fresh, you feel like a new person.
Right.
Why not have that feeling every day?
Right. What were you saying?
No, nothing. I mean, it's probably a negative and a positive thing that, you know, fashion has not yet in a way entered India because we still stick on to our previous whatever collections that we might be having with us. So yeah, I mean, like in a way we still have those classic old things that we still continue wearing.
But somewhere it even comes down back in fashion,
Yes.
right? The bootcut will always come back at some
But
point.
with a
Somewhere.
difference.
With-
But
yeah.
the boot cut will come back, but with a difference. It'll never be the same boot cut.
Yeah.
Everything comes back, but it's twisted and turned. It can never be the same
Exactly.
thing which came back. The last time the boot cut came back, it was a lower waisted thing. When
Yeah,
it was
now
there in the
it's high
70s, it was
waisted.
higher. Now it's coming back
Now-
higher, but then the boot
yeah,
cut is gone.
yeah.
So things come back. Fashion is a cycle, but at the end of the day, there's always a twist to it. So it's not that you can say, oh, bell bottoms are in fashion. My mother had one when she was a teenager and I can wear that. It doesn't work like that, you know.
Right. And you were talking about budget. Now a lot of people believe that designer clothes are out of budget. What would you like to say to that?
See, the point is, it's not out of budget. It is how much you want to spend, and also designers like us, we are stressing more on the quality of the fabric and also on the fits. To get the right fit, there's a lot of hard work that is put into it, and also the quality of fabrics. We cannot, and dyeing. We have embroideries. We have really minute, detailed embroidery. We take care of every inch and every corner of the garment so that it looks special. It looks different from the lot.
Right.
And I guess the regular mentality that Indian people have is why are designer clothes so expensive? The fact is we do not make like in bulk.
That's the most important
yes.
thing.
Yes.
So you know, and for that same reason, it goes higher for us too, like the costing or probably. But then at the same time, we are providing them something different.
You won't
So
see the
You can be
same
assured
piece.
that it's
Yeah.
yours and
Yes,
nobody else
yeah,
has
yes.
it.
You can't see the same piece with someone
Run-of-the-mill
else
stuff,
wearing
yeah.
it also, you know. You won't go to a party saying, oh, I have that same thing, you know, I'm wearing the same thing. It is bound to be very different, and with
also the finishings that we provide is way, you know, better than any, you know, regular commercial stuff. So yeah, if people understand that, they would know exactly what we are providing, and that's what makes the difference.
What would you have to say about it?
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing, you know, I mean, fashion is, like I said, you know, earlier, it's all about budget. It's not like fashion per se is sort of not, you know, unaffordable. There are different labels at different prices. And today even designers have sort of come down. I mean, they're doing their Pret lines and things like that, which are sort of not badly priced, you know, comparatively to, you know, so any sort of regular store or chain of stores, you know, or a label which is international. But having said that, there is that sense of exclusivity that you get when you buy a designer garment. You know that you're not going to walk into a party and see 3 other people wearing it. Right. And it happens when you buy brands, big brands. It happens even if they are sort of in that semi-expensive category. Right. You can walk into a party and see somebody wearing something which you may have in another color, and it happens to women all the time. It's happened in front of me to women, you know, all the time, and it's quite embarrassing for them. And you know, but with a designer, you know that, you know, there is that sense of exclusivity. You're not going to bump into somebody else wearing the same thing, and you're buying a garment which somebody has taken a lot of pain to make, you know. It's not, and it's not just something which is in a factory and thousands of pieces just being churned out.
It's
not
someone's
that.
creativity on
And there is a sense of exclusivity, and I think that you have to pay for, you know, at the end of the day. I mean, you're buying a premium product.
No, and also the fact that there are designers, there are few designers expensive, not expensive, in your range. You can select from it, ask them what you want. I'm sure every designer is happy to help in your budget.
And now going back to the fashion week, who's going to be your showstopper for your collection?
A friend, her name is Poppy, and she is really poised, very graceful. That's why we have selected her, and she knows she knows her since a few years, and we have more confidence in her that she'll do total justice to
In
our
fact,
garment.
recently she participated in the Mega Models thing, and she was judged the best body. So I guess that's what we are looking forward to, the fittings of our garments and everything. So, and she does like total justice to it. So I guess that's fabulous to have her.
All right. And what about you, Manu Viraj? Who's going to be your
showstopper.
showstopper? Why is
None.
that? Why?
Don't see the need to have one. I mean,
Just the collections will talk for us.
yeah, I mean, you know, you want to have a showstopper, have a showstopper. I don't see anything really wrong with it, but I mean, it does take away from the show, because at the end of the day, everybody only remembers your showstopper, especially if you get something really famous, you know.
Right.
But even then, it's not a bad thing. But I'm not using a showstopper. I've never been one. I have used them. I'm not saying I've never used one, but I have used them. But I'm not using one this time.
All right. On that note, we'll take yet another short break. I'll see you on the other side. Welcome back, live and exclusive in the NEWS9 studios. We have with us 3 designers, all of them participating in the Bangalore Fashion Week. So how important is Bollywood's presence, or is it important at all? Because
not really.
if you see all
Bollywood
these big
presence.
fashion weeks, they have these showstoppers, all of them from Bollywood.
I don't think so that Bollywood showstopper is really important. The thing that is more important is the garments, and also a good model to walk with the posture and to walk it out gracefully. That's more important.
And I guess for the designers, it's the buyers that are most important. So I guess, yeah.
Okay,
It's
so
not
Bollywood does not really guarantee
yeah,
the
I mean,
buyers.
like mostly why they get them in is if they're friends or would, you know,
and
kind
also
of,
to get more publicity out of
right.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's your take on that?
Bollywood is great for the press. Yeah. If you want your garment to be in the papers the next day, nicely splashed, get a Bollywood star, because the press will lap it up. They love to do it. So that's what you do it for. And so everybody, it's great that way, yeah. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, if you want to get that whole boom front page shot, yeah, you're going to get it the second you have a big Bollywood star.
Manu Viraj, what's the point if the garment is not as good and having
the garment. I mean, when that person is walking out, you're looking at that person, and everybody's more enamored with that film star who's over there. And nobody looks at that garment.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of hype and all that, but there are a lot of big designers who sort of say that my garments speak for themselves, so why do I need a sort of showstopper?
All right. And again, talking about having a good model. Now, obviously, models, they're slim, everything looks good on them. But what do you have to say to the general public who basically just see the model and they're like, yeah, they're slim, everything looks good on them, but it wouldn't look that great on us?
Yeah, I would disagree, because sometimes, yes, there are times when there are few designers who make it for really skinny people.
Right.
But at the same time, you'll also see a lot of them making it for bigger or larger people. And I think just to have that set mind that it's just for them is wrong, because we provide a lot of I mean, like, the range is huge, and if you approach and actually see and look out for yourself, your mind will change about
and our
this.
collection, if you go to see overall, we have not only stressed on making it for the skinny models that are going to walk for us, but also for our buyers in general who are not really fit, I mean, who are a little obese. We have kept that in mind and designed a collection so people would like to wear that.
Yeah, and secondly, it again boils down to what attitude you have, and you know, it's just, do not feel conscious about yourself. Just go ahead and just try it out. Try something new. You might never know when and how it looks on you. So.
All right. And what about your collection? Does that revolve around the common man as well?
Well, I mean, you know, you make a garment looking at a certain type of body. So, yes, I mean, then you do sizing. So you make small, medium, large and extra large. If somebody is over the extra large size, then maybe that particular garment is not for them. In which case we do personal orders and stuff also. And if they go into a store where they have my garment, they ask the salesperson that, can I get this in my size? So, you know, we do that, you know, everybody does that at the end of the day. It's not like you're making only for like tiny people. That's a complete misnomer.
That's a positive
it's
point.
just that on the ramp you see fit models, but then obviously you want to have beautiful looking
nice,
people
yes,
walking the ramp. You know, you're not going to put people who are sort of on the larger side, because it shows the garment off much better when you have someone who's fitter. But then having said that, today a lot of people, I mean even the general public, they are fit, and you know they are. You have everybody who basically is trying to look good. So I mean, how often do you actually see somebody who's that large, who's trying to wear your clothes? The person who's that large will probably wear a different type of garment altogether in any case.
All right. But again, there's this whole, you know, the whole inferiority complex, because you are made to look so perfect on stage, and once maybe the garment comes back onto you, you just don't find yourself, oh, that perfect.
No, but then go to the gym and lose some weight.
And also come to us, designers like us, we'll make you look slimmer.
You go to a designer, you go to a professional, then that professional will do it. Like you come to her, to me, or to anybody else. You go to a designer, it's that designer's job to make sure that you go out, walk out of that door looking good and feeling good. That's what it's all about.
Just looking good and feeling good. Okay, now we're talking about Bangalore having its own fashion week, but where do you think India on the whole stands where the international fashion is concerned?
It's pretty much getting there. We have a lot of designers who are showing in London and in Paris, and they've shown in New York, and so I mean it's sort of step by step. But yeah, there are a few designers who are actually making quite a mark for themselves on the international scene.
In fact,
Manish for one. I mean, Manish Arora has sort of done a damn good job.
European market especially is very much interested in the Indian designers. So hopefully they are actually very keen with our embroideries, with our colors, with the way we drape. You know, so they show a lot of keen interest to us, which is also good. It makes India more global as far as fashion goes, you know.
Right. In fact, a lot of people are sourcing out stuff from India now. So seeing that and seeing that Indian designers themselves are exporting a lot these days, and they're actually moving towards that line.
Right.
So we'll see a lot in the future of Indian designers and their products probably in the market.
Now we have our embroideries, but what else is it that's actually attracting us to the international market?
It's a question of the way we style our clothes and the way we do our clothes. I mean, there is a slight, you know, there is a different sensibilities. Like for example, you'll see a Japanese designer who's also selling in Paris, but they have a different sort of sensibility. A Indian has a different sort of idea. So it's different people from around the world who bring in their own sort of sensibilities into design, and sort of that's how fashion actually expands, because you bring in different ideas from different parts of the world. And so an Indian designer is sort of different to a Japanese designer or to a British designer, who bring in their own sort of, I mean, you can't compare Issey Miyake to Paul Smith to Calvin Klein, you know. One is American, one is British, and one is Japanese, and they're completely different from each other as far as their clothing is concerned. And then if you take a Gaultier or someone from France or whoever, you know, so it's just like different people who make different types of clothing, and it all basically boils down to that garment which you wear, but it's just differently designed by different people.
It's so good that in India itself we have very designers from Calcutta, from Bombay, from Delhi, and you have all of these, like India itself has so many different, you know, kind of views on fashion and the way they are produced, and you know, it's coming out from one single place also makes a lot of difference.
And
so,
also if we are exporting abroad for the European market, for the US market, for example, we take inspiration from a sari that is Indian based, and you're making for someone in the US who wants to wear it out to an evening with a similar drape. You obviously cannot give them a sari. You drape a gown that looks like a sari. You have that element that is your inspiration, a sari, into a gown. So that you have to keep the personal, the choice, the dressing, the culture in mind, and obviously turn and manipulate.
All right. And with that, we've almost come to the end of the show. But before that, Manohara, starting with you, what is the one last thing you would like to say to Bangaloreans? How should they dress this season?
Oh, just look sexy and feel good. I think that's, you know, and as long as you can carry it off, don't blow it with that. You know, if you can carry off your garment, go be trendy, be experimental, you know, try different types of clothing. Go to designer wear, and yeah, I mean, you know, you should go towards designer wear, because I mean, that's, you know, it's a good idea, because, you know, I mean, that's what we're there for.
Right. And increases your business as well.
A lot.
No, but I mean, as long as you know, you're wearing something which you're comfortable with, which makes you look good and makes you feel good, you know, Bob's your uncle.
And on my behalf, I would like to say that wear yellow, wear purple, that's the color of the season, and dress yourself happy. have fun and accessorize yourself a lot.
Okay.
And come watch us at Bangalore Fashion Week.
Yeah. Okay, that was the designer duo Bhumika and Hiral. Thank you so much, Manu Viraj, and thank you so much, the two of you, for coming here and joining us this evening. And thank you so much for watching. So look forward to the Bangalore Fashion Week. With that, we have come to the end of this show. To catch the big news live, do keep watching News 9.